Now on to our main topic. We are going to be talking about elephants. Christianity has a long and complicated relationship with elephants. Throughout most of the Middle Ages, in the medieval era, elephants were kind of a monster. They're always depicted with dragons, or as like a counterpart to a dragon. And the bestiaries will equate them with like behemoth from Genesis. And so for a long time, probably until the discovery of Dinosauria, behemoth was most often depicted as an elephant. But the problem is the people writing these bestiaries, the people writing the books, had never seen an elephant. They'd only heard tales of them and descriptions, traveler tales and drawings that these bestiary artists were pulling from. So we end up with some rather odd looking creatures. Now, the most common thing for the people to get wrong when they're making these depictions are the legs, and that's because other than a camel, hardly anything has a leg structure similar to an elephant. They have a very specific gait, very specific pillar-like leg design that doesn't I say design after I just badmouthed the intelligent design people. I'm using the word design loosely there, but they walk rocking from side to side when they're moving, when they're traveling. But they'll often depict their knees backwards on the back, like where elephant knees aren't actually like that. Their knees. Let's say elephants don't have knees. Their knees are kind of up inside of them, but so are their testicles, which is why behemoth was definitely not an elephant, because behemoth, again, the sinew of his stones, where good old behemoth would, if he was a elephant, he wouldn't have had any stones to see. All right, and you'll also see that I would assume that one of the closest animals that they could describe an elephant as for Europeans to understand would be something similar to a giant boar. So you'll see a lot of these that look like pigs with just longer snouts, but basically giant pigs with longer snouts. As time went on, the depictions got closer and closer to reality, to what the animals actually look like. Of course, this one here has a reasonable elephant head. We got trunk, tusk, big floppy ears, small eyes, and a brush-tipped tail. The body, on the other hand, seems more like a canine than an elephant, but it could be a lot worse. It could be like this poor unfortunate creature with its mangled feet and trunk that doesn't reach past the end of its tusk. But the tusk actually looked decent on this one. Its little ear looks like a human ear. Its tail is not brush tipped. But another popular depiction of elephants in medieval bestiaries was as a war animal, and that's because as we pushed south and east, that we ran into armies that utilized war elephants. With what they call those howdahs, yeah, the little platforms on the elephant's back where the archers could sit up there, or the spearmen could sit up there and attack from beyond reach. But still, these tales come back to the artist from soldiers far afield. Don't always portray the animal accurately. This one looks more like a horse in its body structure. Its tiny pointed ears are a bit strange, and it has 4 tusks on this one. So this is like the Mameluke from Lord of the Rings, the Oliphant that Sam gets excited about when they see them in Mordor. But over time, the features that start to become more common. We see the brush tail, the tusk, the trunk, and the ears on this one go into its eyebrow, which is an interesting decision on the artist's part. But another interesting factor about this image is the castle on its back is built of stone, and looks like it would weigh many times the weight of the pachyderm. But I digress. It has more spearmen up in the top there. All right. And yeah, I don't. This one's just about the same. But you all notice an overarching theme here that they have the trunk. They display the trunk, the ears, the nose. Sorry, not the nose, the tusk, and the tail. They generally capture all those features.